everybody. Thank you for joining us. My name is Rosa, and welcome to the Tokyo Bronx ACG Social Mixer. So ACG stands for Anime, Comic, and Gaming Social Mixer. So with this first social mixer experience under Tokyo Bronx brand, we are featuring C1 Comics, also known as Creative One Comics.
Right.
And our theme for these sessions is social distancing with C1 Comics. So we're going to be doing a quick Q&A with various crew members from the Creative One Comics group. So my first guest here is going to introduce himself and how he's affiliated with the C1 Comics crew.
All right.
Ed is yours. You can take it.
Yeah, I understand. Hi, I'm Ed Muzan. I'm associated with the Creative One Comics group as one of the founding members and artist, publisher, writer for the group.
Right. Yes. Thank you so much. And so how did you guys connect? Like, what are some past projects you've done with C1 Comics? And we can start from there. And then maybe what are you doing now? So talk about past, present, and future projects going on with C1 Comics.
You want me to do a Doctor Who time? Not a problem. I can do that. All right. So we started out. I was drawing with my brother in my house. And we've been together for like over 25 years, C1 Comics. I started in my house. Gary was, doing stuff, with his guys. I was drawing with my brother in my house. Hey, what's up, Sean?
What's up, guys? How you doing? Hey.
And we came to a point where I was like, I'm tired of drawing in my house by myself with my brother. There should be other people out there that are, want to do comics. And tell you the truth, back then, and that was in the 80s and the 90s, you didn't talk about being a comic artist. That wasn't cool. Now, everybody was comic fans. They had conventions and stuff, but you couldn't just go out there and rock in a Batman t-shirt, whatever. In fact, when the Michael Keaton Batman movie came out, I saw it at the Whitestone Drive-In.
Right, yeah.
On Friday. The people on my block, I used to live on Elder, the people on my block were yelling death threats at us. And we were wearing our Batman shirts. We're like, yo, come down. We were ready to fight people. It's like, yo, we're going to see Michael Keaton Batman. Leave us alone. So it wasn't cool. Even though everybody was a fan of Batman, I know they saw, the 60s Adam West. It wasn't cool to talk about it like it is now. So
Mm-hmm.
back and forth in time. You saw that? Just doing what I'm doing, doing stuff ready to collaborate with people. I went downtown to Forbidden Planet. Always went to the comic book stores, picked up the comics at the bodega. You can get a comic at a bodega. Tried to talk with people that were into comics, tried to, see things. And I went to Forbidden Planet downtown, and Gary comes up to me. And he's like, yo, your name is Ed. I know where you live. You do this. You do that. I'm like, who? So the first day I met Gary, I wanted to knock him out. I'm like, who the heck is this? I don't know this dude.
You knew too much of your government information. Like, what?
I was like, I don't know this brother. I was real quiet. I'm like, my government business. I was like, this, my arms fall.
Can I do something? Yeah. I had that effect on a lot of people, by the way.
No, it wasn't your fault. My boy that went down there with me didn't tell me that he talked to Gary. Like, we went all the way downtown. He never told me that he had spoke to Gary about what we do and stuff like that. So I was just like, okay. And then he came around and said, oh yeah, this is Gary. I told him all about what you do. And I was like, cool. And then I found out Gary lived around the corner from me.
Yeah, a few blocks away. Wow.
Yeah, 3 blocks away in the Bronx. And then it was over. Then we used to, our first meetings, we used to meet in my house in the dining room table. Hey, Winston, what's up?
I think he may have audio problems, so.
So he got his people, I got my people, and I was like, we're all for one and one for all, and we're creative. So that's why Creative One came from. Okay, it's a collaboration of like-minded art. Well, I mean, we don't have like minds. We're all different people, but it's a collaboration of different people with the like mind that we like comics, we like art, we like this the creative process. And that's why we're doing this for 25 years, because we like this madness and we keep doing it.
Yes.
Right, those are some great beginnings there, you know, and it's still going after so many years, and the way the industry has transitioned and changed, and
yeah, it feels like the first day. I'm still mad at Gary. No.
Hey, Ed, get on the line. Get on the line.
No. It feels like, when I think about it, it's like 25 years. It feels like we just started like yesterday. Like, you know, like we're meeting and stuff like that. Hey, Izzy, I like that you like this. It feels like the first day. Like when you find your flow, when you find your niche, it's true. It doesn't feel like work.
Right, Dave.
We did a mural. We did a mural on Friday. After I went, you know, my day job being a teacher, being an educator. Sean was leaving. And I stayed there. I woke up. We hung out all night in White Castle. Oh, by the way, Gary, we get a teacher's discount at White Castle. I forgot.
Oh, wow, cool.
Maybe I should become a teacher.
Yeah.
Yes, Sean, do that. Sean, be next.
Yeah.
Next.
Sure.
Yeah, so so Sean, just tell us, you know, who you are, how you're affiliated with the C1 Comics crew, and anything you've done with C1 Comics in the past or present.
Well, I met them at your lovely mixer that you had at the Boogie Down Grind in the Bronx.
Right.
Came in, introduced myself. My original way of getting in of the whole comic book stuff was like anybody else. I had some family give me some old crappy, remember the Archie superheroes?
Right.
So I had those comic books, and I was trading with this other kid, and we just became friends, and that's how I got into comic books and into drawing. I think the first thing I drew was a Smurf. But the way I got into C1 Comics is I met Gary there, and Gary was like, "You're good. You're really good. Like, hey man," and he gave me this feel.
He will snatch somebody up. Yes.
No, hold on, guys. It was art love at first sight. I was like, oh my God, that's so me and Ed put into one.
So
Izzy, I caught that quick change. Were you the Flash? Got that black shirt on.
Yeah. So we came together. We talked. We started hanging out a bit more. I attend a couple of their events. So far, I've done a couple of prints with them. I'm working on something in the background for these guys right now. I'm very excited about it. I'm happy to be a part of the crew. Can't wait to see where we go from here. I know it's been a little bit of a tough year, but I'm glad that, you know, we stuck it out and we talked, and I'm still here. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. I don't know what else to sprinkle on top of that, but yeah.
No, that's great. You know, it's great to see, like, you know, Ed comes in with like the old school stories of the beginnings of C1 Comics, and you're like the young blood, like, to continue on and add that new flavor to what C1 Comics is looking for, I'm sure. So Gary really Gary got a good catch there.
On's the future.
Yeah. And then you got to speak to Izzy. He used to be a classmate of mine at BCC, and he used to draw like Jim Lee meets Eric Larson. Like, wow, this guy got. And then he laughs. He's that gifted, you know. And I was like, damn, I'm so jealous. Like, I could. That's it. If you can't beat them, join them.
Hey guys. Well, you know,
what's going on, Izzy? How's it going?
It's going well in typical Gary fashion. He says join the meeting, but never sends me the link. So
no.
Sitting here waiting and waiting. And waiting
Izzy, I did. Izzy, I realized I sent it to Pronto Comics.
Dude, you know how long that's been?
Oh wow.
Pronto Comics.
You gotta update your email list.
Yeah, tell him, Izzy. Tell him you're the co-founder of that. You know.
Yeah. So yeah. As you can see, my name there says Ismael Laureano. That's actually my real name, but I go by Izzy L. That's my comic surname. Yeah, I've been hanging with these guys since the dawn of time, as far as I could think about.
Nice.
You know, since the last millennium. You know, when we had a 19.
Right.
So that's how far back we go. But yeah, we've been working on and off every so often. Obviously, whenever there's a show, I'll go out there, support the group and stuff like that, do some sketches for them and things like that. With the family. Now I'm a family guy. I got two girls, you know,
Congrats.
that are artists as well, and they're doing their
Flip
thing.
shows. They help.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
So
they take over the table.
they do they love taking the
Because they
table.
take over and they start drawing, which is great because everybody sees like we are a family. Because
Yeah.
nobody understands us at the convention. They're like,
Yeah.
why do you have like
Nice.
95 people at your table? I go,
Right.
we have like 20 guys with us. We are a family. And we're
Yes.
a
Mhm.
whole family.
Yeah, so we've been doing that, and just like Gary mentioned, I'm one of the co-founders of Pronto Comics, where we were a comic collective. Um,
Mhm.
most of the founders are gone. I think there's just like two left out of a
Mhm.
group of maybe about 12, but we all went our separate ways to do, I guess you could say, bigger and brighter things. Like I said, I've kept in tabs with Gary and Ed for a long time, and Luis too, who's just there being a black box right now,
Perfect.
which is fitting for him, of course. Um, you know, I remember when they were working in other places, and just like Gary said, we're BCC alumni, so
Exactly.
Mhm.
that's where we met. Like, I honestly cannot tell you when's the first day I met Gary, because I feel like I know Gary forever.
I,
So it's
I remember.
I don't remember our first
No,
meeting,
I
to tell you
remember.
the truth.
It was we were in a class with another friend called Diana Brito. We were in, I think in
I know Diana. I remember I
yeah
know Diana, of
we were
course.
doing new sculptures, new drawing for some old guy, you know, with white hair everywhere. It was so disgusting.
The
And
And
that's what
best
he.
they could offer BCC.
So
yeah,
so
yeah.
so of course that's what he
Yeah, yeah.
remembers, the old
No, no,
naked
hold on.
guy.
It gets better.
This is how
No,
Gary remembers our first
it
meeting.
could get better. It probably was the old lady with the white hair. Also, they were
Uh,
trying to torture us. They were in a budget, I
yeah,
guess.
Yeah, the budget.
yeah,
But then Izzy showed me his portfolio, and I was like, "What the hell is this? We don't teach comic book here. We only teach graphic design." And that blew my mind away. I was like, "Yo, you got to work with us." So he had his own projects, and he was building Pronto Comics. But then we kind of kept in touch, and we built it from there. So you know, that's kind of how we met. That was back in 97, 98.
yeah.
Mhm.
Like I
You know,
said,
so
when it was a different millennium.
yeah, exactly.
So
It was Mac OS 1.
we were running off of
Mac
Photoshop
OS
3.
one.
Photoshop, no, Photoshop 2.
Back with a light.
Yeah,
And the computers used to crash. It's horrible, man. But
Oh
still,
man.
but it was all new for us. We didn't know any better
Right.
than 50, 20 years later. Technology was changed, but it was a
yeah.
great experience, man.
Hey,
But it was
Mhm.
I give it to BCC because that's where I learned Photoshop.
oh yeah, I forgot to
Right.
say that me and Ed, even Winston, I used to take these guys. I used to run the computer lab, and then we should just go and use the computers because no one had a Mac in the house. So we had the computer lab. So I was like, guys, just come through and we just do. So I taught Ed and Winston how to use Photoshop, and they both surpassed me because I can't color for crap. These guys are pros, you know. So I'm like, I gave it up. I was like, you know,
Yeah.
I just stick to illustrate. What do you call it? I'm doing 1D graphic design. I'm not much, you know. It's like recently I realized that sometimes when I'm good at something, you know, I could excel, but when I'm half-assed, I kind of just leave it off. And then this weekend, prove it to me
Mhm.
again. We went to paint that wall, and then Sean never painted his life ever with spray can. I did it 20 years ago before. He just started blazing it, and I'm like, shit. Oh, sorry, crap. I can't compete. And my two other friends were so impressed, and they were like looking at me, Gary, what's up? You were trained under a master. What's up? And I was like,
Right.
Jesus, man. So that's why I kind of stopped doing that whole street thing, because I mean, it just you got to be dedicated 100%. My thing is just graphic design and publishing comic books and drawing comic books, and you know, and delegating a lot of different projects, with different people, and that's all I want to do. You know, if I do something like a canvas or a wall or a web page, you know, sporadically cool. Like Izzy right now. Izzy, you the webmaster, am I right?
Yeah, you could pretty much say that.
Yes.
I've been doing a lot of web work, really for local churches and things like that. And today I had the nice experience of doing a live stream with multiple casting.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, it didn't come out as great as I wanted it to, unfortunately, but you know, like everything else, we start somewhere. But I've been
Mhm.
doing a lot of video editing lately and stuff of that nature. As far as the art goes, I still draw like crazy. but I'm more now in the editing side of art, because I like looking at other people's artwork and really trying to do my best to give them the best critique I could ever give them. One thing Gary and Ed could tell you, if you want me to be nice to you, then that's not a good thing. You want me to tell you exactly what I see and why it works and why it doesn't work. I think when it comes to the guys these days, everybody loves a good pinup artist, right?
Yeah.
But the problem we have today is that there's not a lot of good sequential writers or sequential artists, which what we need more of. You need to be able to tell that story. If you can't tell a story, then what's the point of being in comic books, to be quite honest? You might as well just be a painter, like Gary and stuff like that. So
I
Wow,
agree.
wait. Was that a dig to Gary? You just said Gary's a painter.
No.
Yeah,
He meant graphic designer. That's it. That's all I do. Nothing else.
yeah, he Gary, you know what? We got other names for Gary, but we won't use them here.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, so Sean, you were gonna piggyback off of what Izzy said?
Yeah, Izzy's totally right. Like, if you look at the industry right now, there's some beautiful artwork, but like to follow the story, yeah, you don't know where they're going. I would say that's mostly mainstream right now. The indie scene is really interesting. Even manga's really good at telling a story. You can follow that path really well, and definitely have to agree with you on that, Izzy. Like, we do need some more sequential artists, guys that do storyboard stuff in comic books right now, instead of that very flashy, stylized, art style.
Yeah, I missed the days that the cover artist was also the interior artist. Those were fun days.
Yes.
Those were the days I used to love reading comics. When I get a comic book now, it's a beautiful cover, but then when you open up, it's a completely different guy drawing.
Right.
So and that's pretty much every book, unfortunately.
The one book I remember that had something similar to that was the Inhumans run by Joe Mad. So Joe Mad did the covers, and he started the very first couple of books, and then the interior artist changed. So he was still doing the covers, but the interior changed, and the artist wasn't up to his caliber, and it just fell apart after that.
Yeah, everybody became an image artist.
Right.
Image led the way to that. I'll say that much.
Hey, Jim Lee's my man. Todd McFarlane,
Well, look at talking about guys like Todd McFarlane and Jim Lee. I give Jim Lee a lot of credit, in particular because he still does interior work. Maybe not to the same extent that he used to, but for obvious reasons he does it. But then you take a guy like Todd McFarlane, who, by the way, I love his art style. Yeah. But he doesn't do any interiors anymore. And he openly admits that he cannot do interiors like he used to. And it's a shame because, you want to pick up Spawn 300 and see his work. And you pretty much just get a cover these days.
But he gives you like 2 pages backstory, and that's about it.
Yeah. And I remember there was one book he did that it was literally just like a line panel. And that's what he did. And that was like an anniversary book. I picked it up because, they made the announcement, Tom McFarlane's going to draw. And then when you see it, it's like,
those 90 guys are next level. I mean, Jim Lee's a co-publisher of DC. I mean, the fact that, I always tell my students, to me, he's the top of the game. At his level of art, his knowledge and the beautiful work he does, plus the fact that he's publishing. And I watch videos of him drawing Batman pictures for like 3 hours.
Oh, you're not the only one, Ed. I'm always on my TV watching.
How is this man and he's exactly my age. I've met him like 4 times. I met him, when he did the X-Men set, and I talked to him for a while. Met him at a couple of conventions. Showed him my work, and it's unbelievable that he's still the same guy. So I give it up to him. Todd McFarlane's like a businessman now. He's another next level guy. He's doing the toys.
It's really not. It's really not a knock to them as much, because like I said, they are who they are, and they are busy men. But we're talking about in an industry now that you have a lot of copycat artists out there. Let's face it, there's a lot of copycat artists. I would name some, but I'm not going to name drop. Because I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong to name drop in this case. True. But the reality of it is you see artists that look like other artists. Like my favorite all-time artist is Arthur Adams. That's my guy. That's my go-to guy. He's every time, right? And I love his artwork. There's at least 3 guys out there that if you look at their work, they look exactly like Arthur Adams, one of which is a well-known guy.
Hmm.
You know, then you have other artists that, again, I'm not name dropping, but they get caught doing photorealism, which what they ended up doing was really just tracing art people to get things done. Tom
Yeah.
McFarlane, if you had a chance to see his documentary that just came out not that long for Sci-Fi,
Yeah,
he
that was dope.
openly admits when you have to be a deadline artist. If you're not a deadline artist, why you're in this business, in other words. And he pretty much says, whenever I had a flaw, I found a way to cover up that flaw. So if he couldn't draw a foot, he'll put clouds in it, you know. And then you had you had your Rob Liefeld, who I'll openly admit his anatomy is terrible, but he knows how to make you look at a page and like it, which a lot of people don't give him credit for. Because they call him a hack. I don't call him a hack. I just think he
No.
just
I
finds
think
finds a way
that's
to
dangerous.
hide his flaws, but sometimes his flaws are a little over exaggerate. Let's just take a
Yeah.
look at that Captain America once again. Uh,
Rob
but
Liefeld brought manga into comics. When
I'm gonna go with with Neil Adams and Art Adams that
Oh,
did
Neil
did
Adams
that
did
too.
too. But to me, I knew when Rob Liefeld was doing the work. I go, when he did the New Mutants. I
Mhm.
was like, this is manga.
Yeah.
Nobody, because Marvel was at that time was openly saying we don't want manga, we don't want Japanese. I go, you have somebody drawing because when they had the X-Men crossover, I think one crossover that they had with the X-Men, I think in Avengers,
Mm-hmm.
Juggernaut was fighting I think Thunderbird. Every panel they were growing bigger. At the end of the fight, they were the size of the building. I go, this is manga.
Mm-hmm.
The style he's doing, the energy that he's doing. I go, and he's getting away with it. Nobody, because nobody knew that they were doing it. But I recognize, and like you said, there was manga influences and Japanese influences before that.
Yeah, Joe Madman,
you know,
Yeah.
like Joe
Yeah.
Madman, he was.
Joe Mad was when Marvel made the statement because they recognized that as Japanese. They're like, we don't want Japanese art.
Yeah.
They kind of tried to suppress them. But
And-
then Tom McFarlane was Japanese.
But it's really Joe Madura. Hello, guys.
Oh man.
Joe Mad.
Quick question, Izzy.
Yeah.
What do you feel it is for artists to find their style? Like, do you feel like it's okay to take a little bit from your like mentors or the people you look up to, and then figure out how to do it your way, or you just have to?
So there's 2 approaches. You wanna take a style that you like. If you have a favorite artist, then and you want to copy what they do, that's you become a copycat artist that way. But what you want to really do is you want to know how they do it. Anatomy. Everybody talks about anatomy, right? The thing with the stylized artists is that they understand anatomy enough, to manipulate it. The goal is to learn how to draw. I think the best way to do it is to learn how to draw for real, then learn how to become more of a cartoonist afterwards, because that's when you start developing the style that you like. Like Gary mentioned, my style. I copied a lot of obviously Art Adams because he was one of my favorites, but I also copied a lot of Joe Quesada when he first came out.
Oh yeah,
Like
that was
right,
awesome.
and I'm talking about his stuff right before Daredevil.
Right.
So his X Factor, which was a big copy of Mike Mignola, Hellboy artist. So I did a little bit of that. I learned, and what I ended up learning is I learned how to work with shadows a lot better, because of that. Because when you look at Mignola, he has a very two-tone approach to his art style, and if you're able to get that style, again, that's a style, right? Frank Miller has that same style, and so forth. So those guys were the guys I was looking up to. But in those days, we didn't have the internets, the YouTubes, the Googles to find a picture that we want. In those days, we had to, believe it or not, we went to the library. You know what I mean? We went to the library to
Learned
if
it
we
in
needed
school.
A
if we needed
bookstore.
a bookstore. I got
Barnes and Noble,
books.
bro.
I got how to draw books like galore there.
Are they in Gary's house in the book?
No, they're
Oh no, hold on,
Yeah,
time out,
they're
time out.
not one of the,
Hey, you saw my lovely library of books, like,
You go.
and that's all comic book graphic novel. I choose to not have nothing other than Frank Frazetta to Neil
Yeah.
Adams, Michael Golden. Those are my idols,
Yeah.
And it's funny because we have Sean that he draws. He loves to spot them blacks. His style is very heavy. And it reminds me a lot from Caseta as well as Magnola. So if you could share something, could you, Sean? So we could see,
Mhm.
a piece of artwork. I think I lost Sean.
Oh, I think we lost for a second.
I lost him.
Before we get him back, before we get,
lost
you there? Are you there, Sean? Okay.
We got two more guys. We got Dwayne and we
I
got
just went to grab
Ian.
the book.
Just got kicked off.
While Sean's going on, I want to piggyback on what Izzy said. That's why I like Jim Lee. Jim Lee, I said he's my age, and he also was, he went a little further than me. He was pre-med, and I was pre-med in college. So he learned the real, in class, I had to draw the real anatomy. I took anatomy and physiology classes. We had to draw 3-hour, 6-hour classes. I'm looking at microscopes at the different, Sean's showing his work right now. The different real anatomy. In fact, I was going to be a medical illustrator. That's how much, everybody was like, oh, I love the way you draw the real work. I tell you the truth, I didn't like comics. I like drawing real things. I like drawing animals and painting and doing that. I didn't like comics because, like I said, when I put my Batman shirt on, people were like, yo, you a nerd or whatever, back in the 70s and the 80s. But then I got into comics, in the 80s more. And then I don't know how to do the storytelling. I knew how to draw real things. So I did what Izzy said. I went to the school of John Byrne. I drew all my friends were asking me when I was in high school, like, draw these X-Men. I go, what the heck are the X-Men? And they would bring the comics in and I would draw all those characters. I didn't understand anything that was going on. I was like, how do they draw these pictures so small? I really didn't know anything. In fact, when I got together with Gary and these guys had loved comics all their life, I learned from them. Winston, I learned from them because I was like, I don't know. And actually, that's why I got into comics, because I didn't know comics.
There you go.
I was like, it was a learning experience for me, and it still is. So since I had so much to learn, I constantly soak it up.
Oh,
yes, I hear you. So I want to jump to the next
no, Sean.
person. Is Sean? I don't know, cause Sean, like, the page comes in and out.
No, we see it. We see it. Sean,
okay.
Just put it closer. There you go.
Okay.
There you go. Look at that.
Okay.
Amazing. This guy's a beast.
Those are some of my pages. I could go back and show you the other stuff that I had before.
One more before we go to the next man.
No problem. No problem.
I think Winston should be next, even though he has no audio. I want to say something real quick.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. The Turtles. That is awesome, man. He did a BX piece for us also. Is it there? And I have him. Sorry, yes, I have his artwork. My bad.
Here's it to you. Yeah.
He's the next Joe Majoro. He's the next Joe Majoro, guys.
Well, I'm glad he showed the Turtles. Where I went to college where the Easton and Laird were doing conventions on the table with the Turtles. And I'm going, no, there's these mutant turtles and these fucking turtles. And I drew a full size in pencil on my, I went to UMass Amherst, on my college dorm door. I drew a Raphael with a size, full in pencil, and shellacked it. And you weren't supposed to do that. I was drawing ninjas on walls and stuff. And then when they opened up Words and Pictures, I saw them building their museum, Words and Pictures, where they had life-size, comic book museum that was there in Amherst, Massachusetts. So when I saw these guys, and I'm like, wow, they have, a cartoon on TV. These are Eastman Laird right in front of me. And I saw what they were doing. That kind of really, I was like, I want to do what they're doing. I didn't have no style. I didn't have a character. I didn't know how to make a comic book character. I didn't know anything. But I said, I think this is what I want to do.
Man, that's cool, man.
All right, so let me get to the next guest. Oh, Win said they
No,
stepped out,
he
but
stepped out.
okay, so Lewis.
No, he
So
said
Louis Sierra.
blacked out. He's blacked out.
Lewis
Oh, can he hear us?
Dwayne, the man, Mr.
Oh,
Velasquez.
Dwayne.
Yes.
Okay.
What's going on?
What's going on, Dwayne?
Hey, Dwayne, how's
Hey,
it
Dwayne,
going? So I'm just gonna repeat the questions again. So
Yes.
just say who you are, how you're affiliated with the C1 crew, and any past or present projects you got going on with the C1 Comics.
Okay, cool, no problem. My name is Dwayne Velasquez, and I'm the artist on Soul Thunder for C1 Comics. So I did the penciling, ink, and lettering on the books, and it's it came out pretty well. So looking forward to seeing it in print and getting it out there to the world. So it's like it was really cool. It was a lot of fun, and I got to try some new stuff and really got to put my pen brush to work, brush up on my inking skills in the process. So it was fun. It was an enjoyable times. And so now it's just a matter of the book just has to be finished and just get it out there.
And here's an example of what he did. He
Okay.
drew it, and Ed basically add the coloring. So let me see. Bear with me. Let's see. What page can I
All
open?
right, give me flashback to school tomorrow.
There you go. That's the best I could do. So everybody can see that. So
Yeah.
these are some of the pages that he did. Opening page, second page. This is a story Ed wrote. It's about all the characters being interviewed. So basically, the project is done. What happened is like the COVID kind of slowed down everything. All the printers stopped. So now they're printing, giving us discounts. They want our business back. So I was like, yes, no problem. So we in the process of sending all these books. We did like about 10 books, all under title called Spotlight, and it's all basically all the characters being interviewed. And this is the concept idea that Ed came up with. But Dwayne did a great job, and then it's just like it hurted me to tell him, like, during the COVID, I was like trying to avoid the issue. Hey, the book's not gonna be published anytime soon because there's no printers, there's no show, there's no convention. They canceled everything, Jacob Jarvis. So there was no venue. But now I decided that the best way to do this is to actually publish these books ourselves, and then distribute it ourselves, and then do it online, and then deal with Diamond. Being that I guess DC Comics was it DC Comics not working with Diamond no longer?
No, they're not working. They're not working with Diamond anymore.
So I guess I'm sure they probably want our money. So let me just submit the books that we have. So I figure let's do the distribution, because we see most of our books are sold through Bronx Native here in the Bronx, and we have this book, and then we have the vampire books. Let me see if I could find this vampire, and it's drawn by Louis Sierra, who is totally black. We can't see him. I don't know what happened, but
can Louis talk, or just we can't see, or both?
Nothing. He's a ghost, so it's just perfect.
He's there.
It fits in perfectly. It fits his character.
Exactly. So, well, let me show you his artwork. This guy's
okay.
So he likes black and white artwork. So same concept. The character being interviews, but this time is Nocturna. So she's a seductress vampire from the Bronx, and and then this is what he does. So we got all these. This is just the black and white pages, but then we have also the color pages, which is the same. So and Winston Blakely, Ed moves on. Winston Blakely, Ed does the flats and Winston does the finishes. So, and Winston used to be a colorist for Valiant Comics, an anchor for Valiant Comics back in the 90s. So he has, it's sad that, because he knows Joe Quesada, he knows Bob Lakes, and he knows Neil Adam. He used to work with Dennis Cohen. He has so many stories that Dennis Cohen's the guy who created Mouse on Comics, Static. So, so it's just like I needed.
So, what about Lewis's background?
Oh, Lewis, his teacher was Will Eisner, and what was SBA?
Right.
What is it? But he downplays it. He's like, well, I didn't learn nothing from him. I was like, you're insane, So I'm trash talking to Lou, but the guy's a genius. Like the way.
In other words, he took art classes. Like I was saying, in the 80s, I only had one art class from K to 12. somebody came in, an artist came in. I remember 6th grade. I still have the pictures. I drew a Coca-Cola machine, and we did perspective of telephone poles, and we drew some. And I drew a page of ducks. I still have the page, and we did a little bit of inking. But it was only one day. We went to the cafeteria in 6th grade and drew. Other than that, I taught myself.
Yeah, you know, I mean, and same thing with me. I mean, college only taught me graphic design. In fact, Izzy, this is the funny thing. Did you get a degree from Bronx Community College?
I got one.
Yeah, you know what I did? You know what I did? After spending 3 years in a 2-year college, I dropped out, went into the industry. I was like, I don't need no degree, silly degree. I could just, and I started working Old Navy and Gap and the Republic, and I burned out. And then I went back to the art department, and they told me, we told you so. Get your degree, pace yourself, because you're not a mercenary, you know. I got that from being a graffiti artist. I was just like, just tag up, let's do it, keep it moving. We didn't even care. I mean, it's a great mentality, but it's just like, I needed school, I needed training, I needed this.
Yeah, the reality of it is in our day, you know, all the way going back to the early 2000s, I'll say, there really was no school for artists in our length and, you know, sequential artists. Like the only school that you could even think about was the Joe Kubert School. You know,
Exactly.
and you know, talking about names, the Kuberts in general, all three of them, Joe, Andy, and Adam, those are guys that, you know, still to this day are still working. Yeah, there you go. You got some of mine. I was gonna pop. I was gonna show. I was
And
gonna show.
I talked to them. Had some students go over to them talking about that stuff. But the sad thing is, I mean, now we talk. Rose had asked me about the past. It's funny to me that we're doing this right now. It's weird. My brain is going, this is weird, because I come up from, you don't talk about comics. So when we do this stuff like that and talk about comics out loud, back of my head, I'm going, this is weird. It's weird that we're in a comic culture. That I was like, hey, did you see DC Fandom? And everybody's like, oh, it's cool that you draw comics. I'm like, what do you mean it's cool? I'm like, oh, you going to attack me next? And it's weird, but it's great. It's awesome. I never saw that as a future. I didn't really care how popular it was. I just liked doing the storytelling, the fact that I could do whatever I want. The fact also, like I said, with the collective, I learned from these guys, Sean, Izzy, Gary, because we all have different things that are our strengths, and even our strengths we work on. I can't do the graphics that Gary does. I can't do the coloring that Winston does and the speed that he does it. You know, he has so much experience and stuff like that. So I learn every day, and that's why we still doing this. That's why I say today, every day is fresh, because it's like going to school. In fact, tell you the truth, like McDonald's University or whatever, this is like the Bronx University of comics to me. That's what I think of it as an ongoing workshop. And what are these guys learning as far as, we're the captains of the ship, Gary and I'm like, are we learning and growing? If we're learning and growing, then the ship is moving. When it's rocky is when we're not doing that.
And it's free. And it's free.
Exactly. We're free.
And we got Ian, the last guy. Ian, talk. These are your pages. Oh, Rose asking the same question. I'm sorry.
No, it's no problem. How you doing, Ian? So, so if you didn't hear the question before, so just to introduce who you are, how you're affiliated with the C1 Comics crew, and any projects you've done in the past with them, or any upcoming projects you have with C1 Comics as well.
Well, basically, Gary's the one that brought me in. Well, more or less dragged me in.
Right. I'm a witness.
That's a common thread going on, a common story.
Yeah, I know that's another thing.
Better than DCT, I was a graphic designer there. I was doing comic books before, but just for fun. Not really anything like serious like these guys were doing. And after a few years of working in the industry, well, just like Gary, I got screwed over and ended up doing other things. Gary brought me in and, give me something to do. Like right now, I'm unable to go back in the work field because I'm sick. And Gary then gave me something to do to keep my mind off the fact that I can't go out and work. I'm working on Son of Thunder. So far, I've done what? Son of Thunder 1, right?
Yes, 1 and 2.
I'm finishing up 2 right now.
Yeah, I'm writing 3 for you. I want to keep
So can you share a little bit of what that is? Are you able to share a little bit of that?
Yes, share the whole shebang.
The storyline for part 1 is basically about a young man who have a love of ancient Egypt and Black mythology,
Mm.
and he stumbled upon an artifact that throw his life through a loop. What's the main character? I didn't write the name down for him. I'm sorry. My memory really does.
Young kid.
Yeah.
We will know that Gary doesn't remember.
Because the thing is, Dwayne is drawing the other Soul Thunder, and that
got it.
Quazon. This younger kid came about, actually, a quick story that came about because I have a friend of mine that did a pinup, and the pinup, hopefully it should be here. I think
I saw it. Yeah.
See, that's the problem with us, that we're not as organized as possible. But I mean, but based on that pinup, he drew the character as a kid, and that just got my brain thinking. Let's do 2 versions, so we have a younger version. So Ian, continue. My bad.
No, I was just gonna say that the main character, the whole point is a child trying to find himself, and Seth trying to free himself from imprisonment. We didn't know what to say about it though.
Oh, that's it. Come on, Ian, help me out here, man. Come on.
I'll help you out. Also, one of the good things that we do, and what I like what these guys are doing, and when Izzy said, see, this is where I meet up. I wasn't into the comics, but I used to go to the library every day, and I used to read mythology. So I know the mythology. So when Gary came up with Soul Thunder, I first go, you're crazy. How can 4 gods be in one person? And I go, these powerful gods. And then I thought about the different gods, and I was like, and at the time I was actually doing storm gods with my students. I was like, the whole pantheon, all the mythology, and I really like the mythology. So I was like, you're brilliant. I got it. And I think that's when, and I think a lot of people feel that when they hear about the character. So that's what speaks to me more than anything. Is not like the drawing. Yeah, there's the kid, is the mythology. Because in fact, when we go to conventions and we say, oh, this is a storm god, people quiz us. They go, you don't know the mythology. You don't know this character. I go, want me to break it down to you? And we do. We break down the mythology because, like I said, my bookcase, Gary's bookcase is all those books. My bookcase is all mythology books, world mythology, all these stories. And we're adding, and the stories that I write are speaking about the mythology. I get deep into the mythology of the characters that make up Soul Thunder. In fact, I'm going to drop one right, Gary, I drop one right here. Yes. I'm going to go back in time and going to meet a Native American Soul Thunder, and Soul Thunder is going to meet that character.
There you go, guys. Anybody could create a character with this concept.
Yeah, because there's an incident that happened in history. I was watching Ancient Aliens, and something weird happened in history, and I was like, something with a storm, and I was like, oh, I can explain it by putting in that this storm character was there. I just got to get Soul Thunder there, and I'll just figure it out. And that's a story. That's how it happens. So you see something, it speaks to you, and then you go, how do we make this happen? Like somebody drew a pinup with a kid, and then Gary made that, gave him an amulet, and gave him a god. And it's like, now Ian already is into the second story. So it's real easy to come up with these characters and stories, based on our knowledge of our past.
That's good. Could we cover Winston and Lewis, the dark one?
Yeah, we got time.
Yeah.
Well, with Winston, let me show a piece of his artwork.
First of all, belated
Winston,
belated happy birthday.
Oh yes, guys, this congratulate Winston being What, 21, Winston? Just bob your head.
And also all the other birthdays I missed.
21
Awesome to
plus.
me, buddy.
21 plus, 21 plus. There you go. You know, it's
That's
birthday.
Yeah,
dope.
so just so since he can't talk, Gary, just say who Winston
Oh
is,
no,
part
I
of the
mean,
crew, and just show some of his work and
uh,
what projects he's doing. Same thing.
all right. So Winston, well, I know him since back in the '90s, and he used to work at Valiant Comics. So when we met up back then, he was trying to help this. We should promote his character, Little Miss Strange, a cosmic superhero that he created. So we from there it kind of grew. And then when we needed help to color our books, he's a colorist, so he helps colors. He inks our stuff, So we just hire him from time to time, or maybe all the time. He colored all the Mala Noche pages, so he did a lot of stuff for us. But currently, if you go online to Amazon, he has like maybe 10 or 15 books, and all under the name of Winston Blakely. So all his his own stuff that he prints that he publishes himself is all online. So he kind of advised me that I should do the same thing, and he was ready for the for this new virtual online digital download, which I'm late to it because I've been busy with other stuff, but he was able to focus on that. So we've been having a working relationship with him for a couple of years, and and then also with Lewis, him and Lewis worked together on their old projects, and with Lewis now, what he just really drawing. I showed the artwork before, but
Right.
oh, actually, am I sharing as I speak or not?
No, I don't think
No,
so.
So
No.
my bad, my bad, my bad,
It's
my
okay.
bad. This is
There you go.
this is Winston's stuff, and this is his
Okay.
penciling. This is what he does best. Old school,
Nice.
black and white, and then also the coloring. And then Lewis, this is his character, Nocturna. So this is Jeffrey Gwynn. He's working right now with the guy who created what's that vampire series? My God.
Vampirella?
No. There's a vampire movie series. It's 3 parts, and it has.
There's a night.
No, it's
no.
God, I forgot. What was that?
When did it come out?
A couple years ago. The last one they were fighting with Werewolf. It's a
Underworld? Is it Underworld?
Underworld, yeah, Underworld.
Yeah.
So he's working with the writer for Underworld. I forgot.
Oh,
his name.
okay.
I'm bad with
Oh,
names,
yeah.
but so they got these incredible projects going on. So in the meantime, when he gets a break, he draws stuff for me periodically. He did Soul Thunder. So this is a layout that he did with the colorist from IDW. His name is Kirk Russell. That's his name, believe it or not. So they both from down south. One's from Alabama, one's from I think Tennessee. But they did this incredible layout, and this is for our upcoming Mala Noche books, part of the Spotlight series. She's also being interviewed. It was a takeoff on Interview with a Vampire, but it's Interview with Nocturna. So both of these guys, Lewis, I've been working with him since I was a kid. Back in the day when we used to be in church, and instead of reading the Bible or finding the passages, we were just drawing cartoon characters in the Bible. That's so but that's Lewis.
Tell the truth, Gary. It wasn't the Bible characters you were drawing.
No, it was a thing. No, actually, because I didn't draw female characters. Everything I was heavily influenced by Walt Simonson. So every character that I drew was always like a god or bombastic. So I remember one time I drew Thor, and then the pastor came and he saw me drawing in the church. He said, "You got talent. You good. So why can't you just draw Jesus?"
I will carry on to what Gary says. Some of my best sketches will always happen during the sermon.
Yeah.
So Gary knows I'm an active church member,
yeah, very active.
But I'm always drawing during the church service to the point that there was a lady that she would just poke me in the back all the time saying, "You're not supposed to be drawing in church." It's like, yeah, but and then my wife had to tell him, like, that's how he listens.
Yeah.
and it's true. It's like, it's something that you guys like doodling or things like that. Sometimes you just got to keep sketching at every moment, every time you got a chance to just get that pencil, get that pen, whatever tool you have. I've been doing a lot of sketching more on the iPad than anything. Like the pictures that Gary showed you, those all came on an iPad. They were all drawn on an iPad and stuff like that. But I still got my tools. I love my tools. I love my inking tools more than anything else. It's an art form that's gone. That seems to be fading away.
When we do shows, we're doing
Not
shows.
Not going.
Also,
Pennsylvania.
no, but we'll say that when we were doing shows prior to the pandemic, we were doing shows everywhere here in the Bronx, Manhattan, it doesn't matter. And Izzy always came through and was drawing stuff for the kids. So we always use that part of our machine that we know. We draw it right there. We need a mural. You know, you want to do digital. We do everything, you know. And we were gonna do workshops with Bronx Create. And it's funny because they contacted me a while back and I never responded because I'm like, how could we do workshop with them physically? And now I'm thinking that was a mistake. I should follow that up and maybe do it virtually. And everybody here is a teacher in one form or the other, and we could teach them. And also, whether it be a paid gig or not, you know, it's a good way to actually let people know what we're doing and then teach kids. So, you know, it works out. But I'm gonna follow that up because I do that 9 to 5. My job is to do exactly what we're doing, and I teach a whole bunch of international kids how to speak English and how to draw and how to design on the computer, which is kind of insane because I only sign up to only teach them computers. Like I don't understand how my school has me doing more than what I'm supposed to do. I'm like,
What's for everything, Gary?
Yeah, oh, I forgot. I babysit them and the whole other parent. So
Yeah.
one day the parent.
Snacks and everything.
What was that?
You got the fruit snacks.
no. Digital. Hey, digital. That's a good. That's a, Sean. Thank you. I promised them something to eat, and they were like, "Mister, you're lying." So I emailed them McDonald's $15 food certificate, and they all went crazy the last day of school. I said, "Yeah, go ahead." I mean, there's maybe 25 kids, and then I told this to the principal, and he's like, "Do you expect us to pay that back?" And I was like, "No." Board education is insane. I swear. I mean, I need 5 more years to retirement, and I'll be done with this thing. I'm done.
But it's so true, like you said, Gary. Just going back to how we have to transition now to digital and this virtual space of doing the Tokyo Bronx ACG Social Mixer is just that. You know, it's just the beginning of not only you guys telling your story and just creative on comics. You know, it's a way of showing like how we still can have that community space even virtually as well. Because you know, eventually this will be over. Hopefully sooner than later, and it's figuring out, you know, how we still could connect, and being able to use this platform is important as well.
Next year is gonna be a whole brand new year. I mean, this is a sucky year, but next year is gonna be awesome. That's
sucky is not the word that we'll use.
Hey, this is PG. Hey, I can't use these other words.
So before we come to an end, I wanted to each of you just to share, you know, what's a current project you're working on now, or maybe you're planning to work on in the next future, you know, coming up months or so.
Going first.
Anybody?
Oh, anyone wants to jump in?
Yeah, I'll go.
Floor is open.
Dwayne. Oh, by the way, Dwayne, what's up with the G.I. Joe COVID beard, man? That is working, man. I like that, yo. You got the
What are you talking about? He got his helicopter right above him. Don't you see the helicopter?
He looks like a Vietnam vet, yo. Oh, yo, you rock.
All I've been staring at.
Yeah, you made me put this on. Remember?
Yes, I like the shirt.
He tells me 15 minutes before. First of all, he tells me just like so. You can wear one of the the Bronx t-shirts, and then I'm like, now you tell me. So I had to go into the closet, find that t-shirt all the way in the bottom, because in case I'm sure most of you don't know though, but I've lost a lot of weight in the last couple of months, not because of COVID, because of other things. But a lot of the clothes I have just fit me extremely big now. Yeah. So this is one of those shirts that just happens to be that because a good pal Gary says, here's a 3X for you. So now I fit into a regular 1X. But
I got you covered.
Yeah. So he's like, he tells me this, and then he forgets to send me the link. So I'm wearing a T-shirt that he gave me, but then he doesn't send me the link. So there you go.
Hey, Izzy, man, it was free, right?
No, it wasn't. I spent a lot of hours on that table drawing for you. No, it wasn't.
No, it's for the, like Wu-Tang used to say, for the kids. Wu-Tang for the kids. C1 for the kids.
Nah, but truly, you know, I love these guys though. So you know, we knock on
It's
each
all
other.
love.
It's just it wouldn't be the same. You
Can't
know,
be
I could
love
have.
without cracking jokes.
Yeah, man, it's like Ian. It's been a long time since I've seen Ian. It's been like what, since the last convention since we
Yeah,
hanged
after
out and
I
stuff.
got sick,
Ah.
remember? So no one has seen me since then.
Yeah, and he had a lot of hair too, so that was a different story.
So Dwayne, what is it? What are you gonna tell us?
Oh, well, let me see. What was I going to tell you? Well, yeah, Izzy's story sounds similar to mine's with you. Like, oh, when you text me, like, oh, do you have any triple threat t-shirts or and I was like, no. And he was like, oh, how about Bronx Native? And I was like, no. He was like, do you have a Bronx Native hat? And I was like, yeah. I guess I could wear that. So
Oh,
I guess
there you
I'm
go.
wearing
Wait,
that
I forgot my hat.
now. So basically, just to let everybody know, I self-publish. I'm the artist, writer, creator of my own self-published book, The Forerunner's Call.
You got a picture? You got a picture of it? You got the
Let me
cover?
see. Yes, I do.
Yes.
Let me.
There you go.
All right.
Thank
There
you.
you. Oh yeah, go. Really switch it back. So that's it right there. So that's issue number 1 that we're getting up and ready. So I have to finish coloring it, and then after finish coloring it, it'll be released on. I'll print up some copies, of course, and then I'm also gonna distribute through Comixology. So because that's a pretty good online digital distributor.
Platform. Yes.
So I'll definitely be doing that. And if you want to see my stuff, more of my stuff, let me see. I did a little cool passion project that I started at Bronx Native.
I am here.
Yeah, I finished that. Yes, I am here. Yes.
Yeah, I just promoted that on the Fusion Fridays at the Tokyo Bronx ACG.
Yes,
So
yes,
it was
yes.
awesome.
So,
There's his little
yes,
statue
thank you.
back there. I don't know if you guys can see the statue.
Oh, yo. That's pretty cool.
By the way,
Training.
yeah, that glass case came from Gary, so there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Mom,
How
man.
generous of them. So you want to see more of my stuff, you could check it out at vdwayne.deviantart.com, and I'm on Twitter and Instagram. My handles are classic_Dwayne V. So you could come take a look.
So we'll share the information at the website, you know.
Ah, good.
Nice.
Nice.
Next, anybody want to be the next one? Come on, guys. Yeah. What you doing now currently? And then give us the information.
So right now, me and Ed are working on a couple of short stories right now. Doing the groundwork, a few sketches here and there. Also, personally, I'm just working on like canvases and I got an art show coming up soon next month. So yeah, got a couple of things going on right now. So I'm excited about those. Can I talk about the story, Ed, or?
Yeah, go ahead. We got 15 minutes, so.
Okay. So the first story is about 2 characters one called Massive and one called Massively, and their interactions with each other and the meeting up of 2 old school hero and a young school hero. And the other one is Chase dealing with some parkour across the roofs in New York, the Bronx. So that's what we're working on right now.
So
very good.
Sounds good. Oh, where can we reach you? Like website, email, whatever.
Yeah, you can follow me on IG at ublinked, UBLINCD. You can also follow me on Facebook as well. Yeah, that's the platforms that I'm on right now.
Okay, cool. Izzy, what about you? Come on.
What I'm working on, well, like I said earlier, I've been doing a lot of other projects. I've been doing a lot of web design lately and video editing and things of that nature. So as far as the comic field goes, unfortunately, it's been taking a bit of a back seat. But I'm always free for sketching. I'm always doing something like that. So when Gary tells me, hey, can you get me a sketch? I'll do my best to get that sketch to him, even though I send it to him 105 times. And he's like,
no, hold on. Izzy is our art Adam. He may not give me a lot of sequential pages, but when he gives me that pin up, that just is enough.
Yeah. So yeah, because as far as time goes, also 2 kids too.
Oh.
and dealing with the school system these days, especially.
Oh wow.
But the truth is, you know, whenever they want to give me a call and say, "Hey, Izzy, you help me do the sketch," I'm always out there to do that sketch for them. And obviously, editing is something I love to do now more than anything. I love to just look at a page and see what the artist is trying to do, because I think we need more of that, especially in the indie world.
Yeah.
In the indie world, we don't have people that edit. Everybody edits themselves,
Exactly.
and editing's not a bad thing as some people might think it is. It's not about censorship. It's about being able to tell the story properly. And unfortunately, not everybody has that gift. That's, you know, that's one of the gifts you need. You know, you could be a great artist, but if you can't tell a story, then it's ugh.
Gotcha. So
Mhm.
don't worry, Izzy. I'm gonna give you like $5 to edit. You know. I'm not gonna-
I'll do them, man. You know I'll do them.
no. Because we only got one editor, which is really Ed. Ed pretty much oversees most of
Yeah,
the
and
books.
I done your brother's stuff. His
Oh
Amen. I've
yeah,
always,
my brother Edgar. Yeah.
yeah,
So
Eggers. I've been editing a lot of his stuff. When he sends it to me, I'll tell him, and he's like, "Should I just call it the artist back?" I'm like, "Yep, go ahead and call it back." He's like, "Okay."
and it's funny, guys, because my older brother Edgar, I mean, he can't be with us because he's with his grandkids, but he came up with this great concept called Brothers in Space, and I can't find the picture, but I told him, all you gotta do is just hire some artists, and that's what he did, from the Philippines, from Africa, from Mexico, doesn't matter. He just went crazy and he paid for it, and it did knock amazing job. And he works with Izzy from time to time to give him advice. So my brother, and he did his own Christian line of comic book called Amen Comics. You know, so A stands for Athlete Men's, but it could have Amen also. So, and I did his logo, and then you know he has a little fan base following. So he did it, and he hasn't done comic books that I remember for over 35 years, because back in the 80s, this is how it went. My brother was like, "Gary, you know something? I met somebody." I was like, "All right, that's cool." Oh, and I'm gonna be in a Christian band. All right, that's cool. And you know, I don't want to do this comic book thing. This I outgrew it. So he just abandoned me and left. And I was like, what the? He left me. He gave me all the comic books. I mean, stuff that worth money. He's like, Gary, I don't like something happened in his life that he's like, I outgrew this, and he left it. And then 35 years later, when they came to my house, he's like, Gary, do you got that old pin up from this character? I was like, what are you talking about? Like, what the hell? Like, he did it. Another cousin of mine did it. So I was like, that's insanity. You guys, see, they saw me. I never stopped, because my dream as a kid was to be Stanley, Jim Shooter, and Kirby all in one, which is insane because you cannot do
I
all
think
of them.
you accomplished that.
Yeah. But I'm like the hood version.
Yeah,
So,
but
you know.
the artist that he did get, Edgar's artist, he has a very Kirby-esque
Yeah,
style.
I know.
Very Kirby. Like, you look at it, it is almost, there's moments that you're like, did Kirby come back to life in some way? That's how much it looks like Kirby.
Actually, I might have sample Brothers in Space. You know, wow. I hope I find this. You know,
Yeah, so
and you know, but it's true. I mean, nah, unfortunately, I don't have nothing of that in my computer. I am so not prepared for this meeting.
That's okay. You could edit it later. So, Ian, you got anything you currently working on or coming up?
Actually, I'm working on a bunch of things. I'm working on.
It was good.
I'm working on Son of Thunder with Ed and Gary. I'm also working on Brothers in Space. I'm doing a short animation for his brother.
Nice.
Oh yeah, forgot that.
Yeah, but I have to get your book finished first. Priorities, you know.
We don't have a deadline. See, that's our problem as publisher. We're like, hey, whenever it gets done, you know.
On a deadline because of my issues, I have to put myself on a deadline.
Oh, I see.
We just keep moving the deadline. Yeah, we just keep moving it, and COVID moved it. Like,
oh yeah. That moved the needle for us big time, man. You know.
But the piggyback, and then my neighborhood gets noisy. To piggyback on the book I'm doing with Sean, in fact, in the middle of COVID, Sean was like, "Hey, you know, where's the story?" And I'm like, I need to rework the story, because I was like, you know, doing my school stuff and like doing like all these crazy hours. And I'm like, what's happening now, I need to incorporate with the story. So it's that new generation. But I'm also working on something in our universe. It's going to be like a one-shot book that reflects what's going on with COVID. But it's not going to be COVID, but it's going to look like what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be an incident, and people are going to be wearing masks and being distrustful. And those young characters, the book that Sean's working on is where the incident happens. I made it happen kind of in that book, and then we're going to refer back to it. So when people are wearing masks in our book, it's because of the incident that, the storyline that I introduced in it. So it's good that we use this experience. That's why I said it's not a bad. I know it's sad that people died and things like that. Creatively, though, it's an opportunity to do some unique storytelling. It's an opportunity to really retool what you're doing, reinvent what you're doing, like the Tokyo Bronx thing. I never had Instagram. Now I'm making dumb movies with robots every day. So, which won't upload into Instagram. So I'm gonna have to put it on. I'm gonna put it on YouTube. But I made like 20 movies, but I haven't uploaded them because they're long. So that's the fun, and that's what I think it's about. 2020 into 2021, we're having fun. We're gonna show you that we're having fun, and we're gonna continue doing that. That's why I like hanging out with these guys. They inspire me. I hope I'm fun when I'm with them, even though we're working. But it's fun to be with them.
Hey Rose, I got a question for you. What is this flyer about?
Oh, this was an event we were supposed to do. It was the Social Mixer Expo. So basically it was introducing Tokyo Bronx to the public at the time. But basically what it really is, it's as you see there, we can't see it. It's a anime, comic, gaming, mecha.
Hold on, you can't see it?
I can see it.
Oh,
it's like the words are small, but it was supposed to be sort of like just a sort of, think of it like a graffiti kind of gallery event expo, and just all related to urban mech culture, just cross-cultural influences related to anime, comic, and gaming, cosplay as well. And it connects to my anime, comic, and gaming social mixers. And the whole premise of that and the idea of that is to find a way to generate leads for one another, as we're doing here, making connections, with our local creators, with our local communities. Because the main thing, the reason I started these social mixers was you kept hearing stories of creators that like, even as Ed said, like, so you don't even know who's living next to you that's into comics or maybe into gaming or anime. And then, because we don't have spaces like this, sometimes we got to go outside the state or to Brooklyn or to the next New York Comic Con. But without those, we want to find something that we could connect with in sort of a cultural level, or like, oh, we had this kind of experience growing up. So being able to connect in that kind of levels.
And I have to add to this that if it wasn't for Rosa, this would not be happening, because
give it to Rosa.
Yeah, we got to give her a hand, because she was like, Gary, this Tokyo Bronx thing, what's up with it? This is before August, before the pandemic. And I was like, it's just a kooky idea me and Ed came up with. She's like,
underground, deep underground.
Yeah, very underground.
All over my house.
It's so underground that the IG page, the version of the Tokyo Bronx Social Mixer has been exploding. While the one me and Ed did was very experimental and weird. It's like it has a couple of hits, but it's too weird for most people. So she saw the vision and she took it. She said, Gary, I have a place. We can do this convention. Like I did Teens and Trailblazer with with the Bronx Museum. And then me and Ed, we did conventions for years. And also we co-founded Bronx Hero Comic Convention, even though the show's not running currently, but it's still, we know how to put a show together. We know how to do this. And we always do it in the Bronx, and we used to work with Jacob Javits. We used to do the workshops with them. So we were going to put all that in this. And then, thanks to Trump. I'm sorry, I didn't want to get political, but, these are my ish list. He's the number one. And then our mayor. Don't want to mention the name. I don't want to get fired. And then,
Gary. Okay.
Yeah, school chancellor also. Like I'm throwing shots, you know.
Let's get that on the
Usa,
pad.
Joe
Usa,
Smo, you know, Chino from the
Usa,
corner.
I'll be earlobes.
Usa, bro,
There we
Usa.
go.
But still,
Serenity now, serenity now.
no, but we're gonna do this next year,
Going
guys.
down low.
Everybody who's here next year, we're gonna do it, and then it's gonna be big because Rosa, she found the best place. Because Bronx Museum, we had the space, but we didn't never really had the marketing promotion, and they were kind of funny also, you know. But if we do something, you know, well, hey, yeah, Bronx Museum, I love you guys. You know,
Yeah.
You know, but now,
promote the show. Like, guys,
Yeah.
promote the show. What we
Gary's
doing it?
teaching you how to destroy your Zoom meeting.
Oh, no,
Yo,
it's not about that.
if you want to, you send it
No,
to me. I'll edit it.
guys. It's about being real. It's
I'll
about being
edit
real.
it out.
No. Being real and
yes,
raw.
edit it out.
Give me the video. I'll edit out.
No, no. I
I'll
want
throw
them
in
to
a
know.
Bronx native logo,
No.
C1 logo. You want that?
Izzy, you know me.
Oh,
The
sorry.
truth.
Just
It's easy. One thing I learned from church: the truth will set you free. That's how I roll. I don't sugarcoat it. You know, I won't curse. Like I have a potty mouth, but I'm gonna keep it clean. But I mean, I'm just saying that, you know, all these people always felt like they always could control us and manage us. Nah, screw them. Me and Ed, we totally independent. Winston as well. Lewis the ghost as well. We just don't care. We just like, we're gonna do it our way or the highway. And when we compromise, things get funny, you know, and you know, and I work with these guys, you know, in all capacity from the board, and it's always pulling teeth. I don't want to pull no teeth. I want to do things our way. So that's why I'm taking that approach. I'm working with Rosa because she has a great approach, and I've been to her events. So, Izzy and Tony, man, when you roll with us, it's like rolling with Wu-Tang. No one's gonna mess with us.
You know me, I'm the rock of the group, of course.
No, it's like, you know, and Izzy is wild as me. So, you know, he's just being conservative now. You know, so,
But let's bring it back to the.
I'm the calm guy in this group.
Oh, there you go. No, well, that's not true. That's not true.
He is the dry guy. He's the dry guy. He's the guy that's gonna say that he's gonna say something that he's just gonna say something, and you're not gonna realize it until about a half hour. It's like, did you just insulted me somehow?
No, he didn't. He just told you the truth. He's just like in a subtle way.
A very subtle, very dry humor, but you know, and I know Ian probably.
I am blunt. That is true.
Yeah.
Also,
we're honest with each other.
Yeah, he's BCC alumni also. What the college you went to? BCC? You went to what's the other one in Brooklyn?
Even not Brooklyn Tech.
Was it Brooklyn Tech?
No, City Tech.
They were City Tech. So, but I have one last thing. Winston just sent me an actual text, and he told me that the project he's working right now is for a British publisher, and this is pre-COVID, so it's called Spicy Alien Detective. You know,
nice.
It's like a 12-page sci-fi story that's like heavy metal story. So they hired him, and he's doing it, and I think I have a picture of it. I hope it's appropriate, you know. So
you're gonna edit this. So.
All I was gonna do is gonna put the contact information and the logo. That's it. Now, if Izzy wants to do it, I'll give him the task, you know, because I mean,
you want me to edit? I could show you my editing program software. No, and you can see what I do.
No, I trust you 100%. You know, yeah, this is it. Well, hey, let me cover that page. You know, yeah. So, you know, that's it. That's the project. There you go. So, you know, that's what Winston's doing currently right now. You know,
we don't see it.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, you gotta screen share.
I'm trying.
You gotta do that share screen.
I'm trying. You know. Oh, so there you go. Oh, and by the way, guys, the mural that we
before you showed that before.
Yeah. So the mural that we did before we close on Saturday, with Sean and Ed and Lewis, I have a video. I saw the video here somewhere on my computer. Jeez,
we're experiencing technical difficulties.
Gary, let me just finish what I was saying.
Yeah, finish it. I gotta find this damn thing.
All right. Like I was saying, well, where was I anyway? I was talking about what I was doing, right?
Yes.
Right.
This is how all our meetings end up. We always end up with something else. Other than the Son of Thunder, I'm also working on 2 projects for myself. One is called Heroes Fall. And the other one is called Black Rose. Both of them are dealing with African American issues. Actually, Black Rose is Afro-Asian. She, I'm starting off with using my sister as a subject matter.
Mm-hmm.
How she's starting off in life and how people treat her for being different and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using her as a base point for that.
Nice.
I can't get too much into the details because it's still a work in progress. I haven't nothing copyright or anything yet, so I can't be sharing that out.
Right.
And you can reach me by going to Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook by going to Evolve Skills on all platforms.
Oh, yes. Share Evolve Skills site to these people. Do they have it? Could you show them the website? Or you want me to go and find it for you?
You can just go to the website yourself.
All right, guys. And tell them about the platform real quick.
Oh, the platform is for artists. I mean, any artist. Be what we're doing, which actually inspired me to do this, because if you think about it, there is no way that you could actually go where you could find artists, maybe DeviantArt, but that's usually more spread out, that artists can network with each other and find work, build up their portfolio and stuff like that. I'm trying to make it centralized in one spot.
I never found the page. What is the website again? Evolve Skills?
EVOL.
Oh, my bad.
SKILL.com.
Yeah, because
But what I'll say is what everyone could do is just shoot Gary an email with those links to all that information, and he could edit them on there as well.
Yeah, that'd be great. But before we close up, I did find the actual video. So finally something worked.
Yay!
I could never be a technician for a movie or for a Broadway show. I would totally ruin it. So
that's it. This is what I'm going to do in class tomorrow. I'm like, hold on. Let me present. Hold on.
And then the bell rings.
Oh yeah, class over. So guys, check this out. First thing first, this is Blue Plug. This is the book that me and Louis are working on. This is the actual cover. So Mala Noche Vampires in the Bronx. So there's going to be a Netflix series called Vampires versus the Bronx. So I was like, you know something? Those bastards are not going to beat me to the punch. So I'm putting that out as soon as possible.
It happened again. I had Kids in Space. When they had Brothers in Space, I made up Kids in Space. You know what cartoon's coming out now, right? On Cartoon Network. They're gonna have Kids in Space.
Okay. Oh wow. There you go. But
Kid Astronauts.
Yeah, but at least we've been putting up, and it has Method Man in it. I was like, what? Method Man? I like Method Man, but I can't. So I was so disappointed. But still, this is the video.
It's okay. This is our version.
Exactly. So this is the Peace Matter mural that we did at Tough City. Then let me kill the audio. Yeah. So there you go. So you're gonna see. This is a rest in peace to my mentor, graffiti artist. So what we did, I did that character along with the help with Sean. Those graffiti artists did that, and then that was Sean. Oh, my bad. Oh, man. No.
You guys, okay, Gary.
Our time.
Gary, let me teach you. Let me teach you how to use Zoom.
No. I do every day.
Let me teach you how to do Zoom.
I'm doing
you press the share button again.
I did that.
No, you gotta press it again.
I know.
You gotta stop the share.
Hello, Izzy. I just realized that.
What is he talking about?
Thank you. Hold on, time out. See, you should have told me from the beginning, Gary. We don't see nothing.
I was.
All right, so
we just let Gary be Gary.
There goes Ed. There goes Louis in the background. There you go. That's what I was talking about. That's the mural. That's a piece. And
nice.
Then,
so nice.
Where was this done? What location?
Tough City and Fort Row.
Okay.
Belmont. So and that's Sean's character.
Yeah, but you can't see it because it's behind Tough City. So it's like a close.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, but the good thing is that they actually give artists, mostly spray paint artists, access to their backyard, and then you can paint the stuff. So this is the first time I painted in 20 years, and actually, and that was Sean's first time painting. So I was like, damn. Whoa. Oh wow, we got Lewis. We got Lewis.
Okay.
Hey, hey, Lewis, where are you? Hey, Lewis, we hear you.
Sounds like it's going down over there.
Hey, Lewis, can you hear me?
What's up, guys? How's it
All
going?
right, Lewis. Before anything, Lewis, we are live. We've been recorded, and tell your wonderful, amazing roommate to don't say a word. How about that? We heard him yapping. Just seriously, So Lewis, just tell us. Ask him the question.
Yes.
Rosa,
Hi. So okay. So just say who you are, how you're affiliated with C1 Comics, and what projects you're working on.
Okay, my name is Louis Sierra. I'm
a ghost.
Working with the group for quite a while. It's been like, I don't know, since the 80s, I guess, late 80s. It started with just me, Gary, and his older brother, Edgar. And eventually it started to grow a little bit by little. And here we are. This is basically the main group. Right now I'm working on a book called Nocturna 3000. It's sort of like a Mad Max type of story where Nocturna is not the original Nocturna that we see in Mala Noche.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I would say, like, I would call it like a hybrid, if that's the right word.
Mm-hmm.
And she's being chased by two different groups of I don't know, how should I put it?
Marauders.
Marauders. That's the word.
Everybody see Big Pun? Everybody see Big Pun and Fat Joe?
Yeah.
Yep.
The page on
Yes.
There you go. So Louis, I'm sorry. Continue.
That's all right. And both groups, they're trying to get to this character for the simple fact that she has, like, her body is basically made out of a certain circuitries around
Mm-hmm.
her. And in order for her to survive, she needs oil. And it's almost like her blood. Even though she herself is a vampire also, it's not like she feeds for blood only, but the oil, she needs it for survival. And if I could say it this way, the bad guys, they have a certain point of wanting her for that. The good guys may have some other reason for it. And she's being in the middle of all of this stuff, and they're being chased by these two groups.
There you go, guys. That's Lou.
That's the character right there.
Mm-hmm.
Was it? But hold on, Lou. Was she your ex-girlfriend at one point?
Yep.
I don't want to talk about that.
Sounds personal.
No, I mean, it's a silly story to begin with, because this was when I was just a kid. You know.
No, but guys, I gotta admit, I told Louis, just take your character to the future and make her, instead of the urge to drink blood, she needs gasoline. That's straight up from the pages from Mad Max. I love Mad Max, and I love George Miller, director, Mel Gibson. I love all those post-apocalyptic movies. I think we live in those times, so it's kind of eerie. Like when I read Nocturne, I can't read it now because it seems like there was a point in the book, in the graphic novel, that it dealt with a virus, and a virus dealt with it was like a pandemic. Like they were trying to create a cure for this virus that vampires have. So it's kind of eerie, like, to what we're doing now. So unlike Ed, that he could deal with those matters, for me, comic books tend to be more like, I don't want to deal with that matter. Let me do something so escape from reality. So, but this book is not escaping. This is reality. We are in Nocturna 3000 universe. So it's kind of surreal. So I mean, I gotta be honest. After the pandemic happened, I was like, I gotta do something different. So I did a series called Buena Noche to contrast the Mala Noche. And it was a friend of mine. She told me, Gary, just go a different direction. Everything you do is dark and post-apocalyptic, and there's no positive message and blah blah blah. I was like,
movies, man.
Yes. What was that?
Oh,
Oh, that was. Oh, never mind. But so Louis, just finish it up. So there you go.
Again, this is basically the more recent project that I'm going for right now. There are others that are coming up after I'm done with this. We're doing a second story arc on Mala Noche down the line. Also, I'm going to introduce this group called Night Crew, which is also part of the Nocturnal storyline. That's basically it for now. That's what I'm.
Gary, I didn't color this one. I think I remember coloring.
Louis draws him, surprises me. He's like, "Hey, Gary, look what I got." So,
Oh, you just did this? Oh, I colored the Nocturna 3000. That was fun to color.
Mhm.
yeah, that's all.
There you go.
I'll color the other ones too.
So, guys, can we give a hand to Louis for actually showing up? You know, and
Yeah.
Woo! Yes, the
At the
ghost,
last
the
minute.
ghost. See,
It's
Izzy,
appropriate.
I told you, man. You know, it was in a glitch.
That is funny.
I tend to come through at some point.
So I think we went over time. You know, Rosa, it's all yours.
All right. Now this is a good way to end it, but I want to thank the C1 crew, Creative One Comics, for joining me on this first ever Tokyo Bronx ACG Social Mixer. So looking forward to seeing what you guys got working on coming soon. And for those of you who are new to this show or to this channel, be on the lookout for our fall and winter session of the ACG Show and Tell Social Mixer that's going to be sponsored and affiliated with the Tokyo Bronx brand. And you can see the links when we put them up of where to follow Tokyo Bronx brand and Tokyo Bronx ACG.
That's good.
Awesome.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you so much,
Awesome.
guys.
Let everybody take
All right.
care.
Bye.
Take
Showing
care,
up.
everybody.
Everybody.
Right.
Safe.
All right.
God bless. We out.
Be out.